When it comes to arguing with Latter-day Saints, people like to poke and squeeze on the parts of our history that seem the silliest. And few things are sillier than the image of Joseph Smith with his face stuffed in a hat. And some would prefer to avoid that image. You'll find a fair number of people who are willing to argue that there was no hat and that Joseph always used the interpreters and breastplate to translate, as if that's any less awkward. The problem is we have too many witnesses to that process, both friendly and hostile, and they agree quite consistently that there was indeed a hat and that Joseph would use it to block the ambient light from the visions that he would receive in the Book of Mormon text. And it does seem to have been a truly visionary experience. The best sources talk about Joseph looking through or into the stones, not at them. Some report that he could see the words with his eyes closed, and that the words would appear and disappear on a visionary parchment. So why have a stone in the first place? Well, using physical objects like stones as a catalyst to receive revelation is ancient and biblical, but it's also 19th century. It was part of Joseph's folklore and culture to use stones in that way. And while no one can claim to understand how it all works, it would have been a useful spiritual tool in the box to help Joseph and others get in the mindset to receive revelation and accept what was happening. And it's easy for people to dismiss it now as silly, but here's the thing, it was real. It was clear that something happened that was grounded in direct experience. We have the stone, we have a cacophony of witnesses, we have the manuscript, and most of all, we have a final text that bears firm testimony from dozens of angles, from the bones of its syntax to its overcloak of poetic structure. We have evidence in spades, both secular and spiritual, that this text was not the product of Joseph's mind, but is exactly what it claims to be, an authentic and ancient record of Christ's love for Israel. And I'd rather have a real thing that looks a bit silly than a serious fake thing. Check out the full article from Stan Spencer for an exceedingly useful summary of the historical sources, as well as more than you'd ever think that you'd want to know about the hat. I'll see you next week.